Hey guys, and welcome to this month's wrap-up video. I know there's 2 days left in August, but they'll just have to go in September's wrap-up if I do watch or read anything between them. If you don't know, each month since January this year, I've been telling you all of the movies, television shows and books that I've watched/read in the month. Without further ado, let's just get on. We'll start with the movies. Now there's actually 7 movies on my list this month, so I've done really well for movies, considering I am a TV show and book girl. I don't really watch that many movies. The first movie that I watched is The Lovely Bones. I've watched it before and I absolutely adore The Lovely Bones. The book is one of my favourite books of all time. So if you don't know, The Lovely Bones is about a young girl. In fact, I'm sure I spoke about the book in a previous wrap-up, but this time I watched the movie, possibly because I read the book again. But it's about a young girl named Susie Salmon who is murdered, and obviously it's about finding who the killer is, and it's more about Susie's perspective on it. So obviously she's dead, but her spirit, if you will, her perspective on it and finding the murderer and all that kind of stuff. I love it. The next movie is a movie I haven't watched before, and that is Gotham by Gaslight. It's an animated movie that I think came out this year. Oh my god, I love it. So I'm a huge Batman fan. Gotham by Gaslight is just phenomenal. I have heard that there's mixed reviews because it's not as good as the comic book, but I haven't read the comic book, or the graphic novel, but Gotham by Gaslight is Batman set in the Victorian era, with a Jack the Ripper based story, and it's about finding out who Jack the Ripper is in the Batman universe set in this Victorian era. I loved the character of Catwoman, Selina Kyle. I just loved her, and the twist at the end on who the Ripper is, I did not see that coming. I did not see it. I was shocked. The next one I watched is another animated, a little bit silly, and that's Scooby-Doo and Batman, The Brave and the Bold. I don't know why I've never watched this before. I love Scooby-Doo, I love Batman, put them together, fantastic. It's just a silly, funny story. I really enjoyed it. There's people in it that I didn't really know existed in the DC world, so I thought that was interesting. Next up is a rewatch of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Black Pearl. It's the best Pirates of the Caribbean movie, hands down. The first. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I've said it so many times on this channel. If you don't know what The Curse of the Black Pearl is, then you should go and watch Pirates of the Caribbean. It's just incredible. Of course, I then watched Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, just to do a Pirates of the Caribbean rewatch, I suppose. And again, I love Dead Man's Chest. So the next one, of course, will be At World's End. That'll probably be in September's wrap-up. Then On Stranger Tides and Salazar's Revenge. So we'll see where we get with that, because I'm not very good at rewatching things. I tend to procrastinate a lot. Next up, I watched the remake of The Stepford Wives with Nicole Kidman. I actually watched this with my mom and Sarah, who'd never seen it before. And I love The Stepford Wives. So I've seen the original and the Nicole Kidman version. I am probably the minority who prefer the Nicole Kidman version. I love it. So how do I describe The Stepford Wives? Basically, a man and a woman move to a village to reconnect, I suppose, to reconnect their marriage. And all the women are very prim and proper. You know, they cook for their man, they clean, they're blonde and beautiful. And obviously Nicole Kidman doesn't fit that mould in the film, of course. I forgot the character name. And it's about the women all being submissive to their man, and why that is, really. It's a very strange town, and it's discovering why, and it's just really good. I do enjoy it. And the last film that I watched this month is a new one, and again it's Batman. I mean, oh my gosh, I've done a lot of Batman, haven't I? It's another animated, and it's Batman the Killing Joke. Oh my god, I loved it. So again, there's a bit of controversy with this one about the comic being different or being better, but I again haven't read the comic, even though it's one of the most iconic Batman stories to date, The Killing Joke. Basically, it's of course about the Joker, and all it takes is one bad day, and the Joker, obviously I don't know if I should say this because I don't know if people are familiar with DC, so sorry if this is a spoiler, but Batman shoots Barbara Gordon and paralyses her and turns her into Oracle. She was Batgirl, and it's all about Commissioner Gordon and the Joker trying to drive him insane, basically. It's a horrible story, but a great one, you know? Next, we're on to TV shows, and there's actually not that many. So the first TV show is EastEnders. It's in every wrap-up. I don't go on about it. I've said it every month. I am watching EastEnders. I'm a big EastEnders fan. And I think it's getting better progressively, to be honest. Then I'm continuing with my The Tudors rewatch. I've spoke about The Tudors so much on this channel. I love it. I am on series 3. Episode 5, so nearly at series 4, which is the final series. So maybe next month will be the last time you hear about my Tudors rewatch. The next thing, I finished Picnic at Hanging Rock. I spoke about Picnic at Hanging Rock in a previous wrap-up. Of course, the draw for me was that it stars Natalie Dormer, but actually forget about that. The whole story is just incredible. So I've now watched all 6 episodes. I do have it on DVD. I just think it's fantastic. Picnic at Hanging Rock is such an Australian cult classic, and you should definitely check it out. The next thing, I've been watching Celebrity MasterChef. I am a huge MasterChef fan. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I've also been watching Dragon's Den, which I haven't actually written down, so that obviously means that it's having a good effect on me. And the final thing was like a documentary, but it was on the telly, so I put it in the TV shows category, and it was about Alton Towers, all about Alton Towers and the opening of the Wicker Man and the Smiler disaster and all that kind of stuff. Finally, on to books. Last month I mentioned that I was doing a Twilight Saga reread, just because I haven't read it in years. I finished Eclipse this month, and I finished the last the book. I finished the last book, Breaking Dawn, this month as well. I decided not to do the novella, which is The Short Second Life of Britannia, this time around. I just did the core 4 books. And I've spoke about Twilight before, so I'm just going to leave it. But I read the books and I do enjoy them. Next up, I read a book called The Other Tudors, Henry VIII's Mistresses and Bastards by Philippa Jones. This was amazing, fascinating. Big shout out to my dad who bought me this, because I probably wouldn't have picked it up, but it was an incredible book. So of course I love the Tudors, like I've said, and with Henry VIII, you tend to know that he had 6 wives, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. But this is about his mistresses and his illegitimate children, and I thought that was just fantastic and fascinating. And the last book, so not that many books this month, I'm currently reading, so it will be in next month's wrap-up as well, and that is True Blood, Investigating Vampires and Southern Gothic. So you know I'm a huge True Blood fan, and this book is an unofficial book, I think, just about it, just like a companion book to the TV series, I would say, delving deeper in. I haven't read that much on it yet, like I said, so you'll see that more in next month's wrap-up, I would say. That's all the movies, TV shows and books that I've watched / read. This month I think I've focused more on video games and online courses as usual, but I've been replaying the Batman Arkham series. That has taken up most of my time. I'm also doing 2 online courses at once, which is like crazy, but I am enjoying it. So that's it. That's my August wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.